Sec.
Sure.
All right. For some reason, I hit the pause button. There we go. Okay, we're recording now. Okay, all right. So let's go take a look at the book. Let me share it for you. And then we'll share my desktop. And then we'll go to the whiteboard and you can tell me what you want to know about this one. So it's problem 6 from this problem set, right?
Correct.
Okay. Let's see. I'm down actually. Oh, actually, no, it's not from this one. This is this is assignment 7. Now, push it a little bit to the future. We don't want to go there.
Yeah, no, not there yet.
Yeah, let's go back to chapter
page 220 in the textbook.
Okay, great. All right. Four, five, so it was the practice problem 6, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay, that was the one where it's linear versus exponential. So it's a little bit tricky. You got to read the wording. So this one right here.
Yes, and see, I'm on the spectrum a bit, so I'm more of a visual person, and word problems have always been a problem for me.
Okay, well, let me turn my pencil on here. Let me show you the key words, okay, that help. It's the key thing over here is that they said by a percentage.
Right.
And then over here, they just said decreases by
the students.
Yeah. Okay. So, but they didn't put a percentage in. They just gave you a number, right?
Right.
Okay. So what that means is that every year you're going to subtract off 20 students.
Right. So. Okay.
So if we said n, they want us to do this in terms of n, right?
N.
So n of t would be, let's see, what did we start off with? We had 300 students that were in the beginning in 2005, right?
Right.
Okay. And then what happens is every year we take off 20 students.
Yeah, see, I get on a roll and I just...
Hey, they're all exponential. Let's do them all that way. Yeah. I'm with you. It kind of just feels natural, doesn't it? These guys are being tricky on me here and throwing linear stuff back in. Okay, so decreases by 2% per year. So that would be what? N of t. So your initial amount was 300, right?
Right.
And so every year, so that's what you take off of 1. So you've got 98% or 0.98.
Right, and I got that one.
Nice.
But then I don't know why. I have no clue what I was doing with it.
Well, it's the wording. It's like you were saying. It's totally the wording. Okay, so let's. That's a little too fast there. I don't want to do it that way. Let's go ahead and do them all. So let's go take a look at part C here. Okay, so we're going to increase by 30 students per year.
Sorry, it should be 30 or 300 plus 30 T.
Exactly.
Okay. What was I doing?
So
this is what happens when I go on vacation in the middle of it and then come back and think I know what I'm
doing. That is the problem with spring break, is you come back and you suffer from how smart I was. So just as an aside, there's absolutely nothing the matter with how I wrote it right there. But typically, like if there had been solutions written up someplace, because this was a year try, they would have put it in MX plus B format. So they would have gone 30T
plus 300.
Plus 300, right, yeah. And then increases by 6% a year. So then that's going to be N of T is equal to 300 times 1.06, right?
Right. And see, I got those ones.
Nice. Well, that's good. Well, then the exponential stuff was making sense.
But I didn't get this one. Darn it.
Yeah.
Good grief.
And then decreases by 32 per year. That would be what? So that one, I mean, it's starting to get repetitive, but it's the idea.
Yeah, no, I'm understanding where I messed up. So 300 minus 32.
Yeah, exactly. And then this one increases by 30% per year. That's a huge increase, but it'd be
right.
And N of T would be 300
times 1.3.
Yeah, exactly. Raised to the T. And then remains constant, does not change.
So 300t is what I got, but I don't know if that's right.
Exactly.
Okay.
No, not t. It's just 300.
Oh, 300.
Yeah. So n of t would be just equal to 300 because it doesn't matter what the year is. The number of students remains constant, does not change. So it's just going to stay at 300.
Right.
Okay. And so then increases by 100% each year. What would that be?
Well, what I put down was 300 times 1 to the t power, but that's not seeming right now that I'm looking at this.
Yeah. Well, if you just did 1, right? I mean, here, what did you do here to get the base, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hang on just a second. One of us is, maybe it could be me. My internet's been, well, I'm going to say my internet's been kind of wonky tonight, so we'll hopefully I'm not, I think the storm's kind of messing with it. But to get that, what did you do? You took 1 plus 0.3, right?
Right.
Okay. So if it's going to go up by 100%, then it's going to be what? 1 plus 1. It's going to be 2.
Ah.
Right?
That makes sense.
Because you know it's an increase, so you're going to add that to 1, and so 100% is 1, right? So that's going to be 1 plus 1, so it's
right.
Going to be 2.
Right. Can you? I'm trying to. Don't kill.
Daddy's on the phone.
Okay, well, I'm trying to help do this here. This way.
Yeah, you'll have to learn logarithms. I'm still here. So you're going to have to learn logarithms if you stick around.
Yeah, no, I was just doing the.
I was looking at your daughter.
The discussion thing before doing this. I was. Yeah, because I'm actually going out of town this weekend, so I need to get this done before I go. And I thought I understood it, and then I did the second part of question 1 and realized that my answer was completely wrong. But once I saw my team member's answer, then it made sense.
Okay.
And again, that's part of my mental inability to do certain things. I don't know.
Well, that's okay.
If I see it, I understand it.
Well, you know, that's part of why we're doing the groups, is that when you go in there, if you see something you didn't understand it, then that's great. I mean, then you do understand it. That's a huge thing.
Yeah, no, it totally helped being able to see what they did. And I went, oh, right, because it cancels it out. So it makes sense that it's a negative versus a positive. Because I don't know what I did, but
okay. Well,
it was not right.
Let's take a look. So you were doing discussion. What's a logarithm, right? This one right here.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go check in on that real quick. So on the discussion question, so which one? Number 3.
Number 1.
Number 1.
The give a function g of x would be the opposite.
Right.
And I was thinking of the boxes, how they changed.
Oh, on the logarithm.
How the letters changed position.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of thinking opposite of positive 2 is negative 2.
Yeah. Well, here, let me show you a little trick on that one. Let's go over. We'll open it up on a whiteboard here. So let's see. So that was. So the original function was f of x is equal to, if I'm right, it's 2x plus 3, right? Yeah, okay.
2x plus 3.
Yeah, all right. So f of x is equal to 2x plus 3. Okay, and so what you want is you want g of x, where g of x is the inverse function. It's the thing that undoes whatever this one did, right? So
right.
if you think about it here, what did you do? Well, you took the x, you multiplied it by 2, and you added 3 to it. Now on this one, on this guy, what did this function do to it, right?
Right.
So to undo it, right, you're going to have to subtract off the 3 and then divide out the 2.
Gotcha.
Here, let's just put a number in. Let's try it. So let's say we had f of 5, all right? F of 5 would be 2 times 5 plus 3. So the first thing I did was multiply, which gave me the 10, right? And then when I finished doing that, then I added the 3 and I got back 13. Now, if I want to get back to the 5, I got to take the 13. And well, the first thing I got to do is I got to subtract off the 3, don't I, right?
Yeah.
And then once I get done with that, then I'm going to divide it by the 2. And I'll get back to 5 again.
Right.
Okay, so that's how you think about g of x. You come over here and you go, okay, well, what am I going to do? Well, I got to take it, whatever the value of x is, and I got to subtract off the 3, and then I got to divide it by 2. So you're going backwards from how you originally generated f of x. In other words, when I get done here with f of x, that output, if I take that output and I feed into g of x, it's going to take me right back to where I started again.
Right.
So one way mathematically to think about this is that if you had y was equal to 2x plus 3, right? That being my f function.
Mm-hmm.
To figure out what g is, what you did is you said, well, x is equal to 2y plus 3. In other words, I swapped the x's and the y. I put the x's where the y's were, and I put the y's where the x's were. And so now watch what happens if I solve this for y. All right, subtract 3 from both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Divide both sides by 2. And voila, you got the g function. So it's something, unfortunately, our book doesn't go into. It's a bit of a failing on the book's part, is that we really need to spend a little more time with this idea of inverses. But we'll call it good with the little bit that we're doing here. We might pick it up again when we get done with quadratics. We're going to probably talk a little more in depth about this idea. But right now, it's just kind of a teaser, just sort of kind of get you know, a little bit of an idea of what we mean by inverses. I mean, we're also, like I said, we also kind of understand it, you know, that if I gave you x plus 3, well, you know, to do the inverse of that, it's going to be x minus 3, isn't it, right?
Right.
So you kind of, we all have kind of a gut level instinct of what's meant by it. It's just how to take a function and get its inverse, how to make it go back the other way. So let's stop there. Let's stop there. So if there's any other ones that you need some help with?
You know, it's been so long. I don't know. It feels like forever since I've done the math. You also mentioned that the graphs in the U-Trium problem 1, when I turned them in, were not correct.
Okay.
So I would like clarification on that.
Sure. Let's go take a look at that. So a good thing to have out there too is your calculator. If you've got it handy, that would be good.
Oh, let me grab it. I will be right back.
Not a worry. So I'm going to go ahead and get it going. Jessica, how you doing? Don't be shy about jumping in. I see that you're logged on. You can use the chat box too. Let's see what I do with my chat. I think it'll pop up. The chat will pop up in my shared screen if you chat.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, no worries. Not a problem at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in a couple of a growth function and a decay function to help us kind of see what's going on, all right? So
Okay.
let's pick an A and a B value for A and B here. Hang on just a second. I'm going to go look at the chat. Hang on, be right with you, Jen.
Yep.
Jessica's asking me a question here real quick in the chat.
Sure, no problem.
Just checking in with Jessica real quick because apparently her microphone and her cam are not working, but I want to see if she can hear me. If she can hear me, then it's no big deal. I can just answer her questions from the chat. I'm going to put the chat window over here so I can see it. We'll do it that way. Okay, anyway. So if you take a look, what we're going to do is let's just go make a value of A and B to make this so we've got a particular value of F, okay? I mean, because in here, all of these, they're looking at generic A and Bs. So the last on the graph, if you give yourself a value for A and B to make it a little bit easier to see what's going on, that'll sometimes help. So let's start off with the growth one, okay? In the growth situation, we know that B is greater than 1. That was this question down right here, is that B was greater than 1, the growth factor, okay? And then let's, just to make life really simple, let's make A equal to 1, just so that we don't have to deal with any crazy numbers, all right? Okay. So if it's got to be bigger than 1, let's go as super simple as we can. Let's go 2 to the x. It's just anything bigger than 1, right?
Right.
Okay. All right, so if we do that and we put that into our calculator, make the screen a bit bigger here. Okay, so go to the y equals, clear out any craziness that you got in your y equals, and put in 2 raised to the x into y1. And then go ahead, once you've done that, hit a zoom and a standard. So, Jennifer, do you have a physical calculator or do you use your phone?
Nope, I got a physical calculator.
Nice.
Good old TI-83 from 1998.
It works just fine, you know? Nothing the matter with that old dog. All right, so hit a zoom and a 6.
Right.
You should get a graph look something like that, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I got on the first one.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm going to try something here. I don't know if it'll let me do this on the screen or not, but I'm going to give it a try. So what we notice is that there is an asymptote here. In other words, the axis here, the x-axis, is acting as a horizontal asymptote. And what that means is that the function of the graph is coming down and it's getting as close as you ever would want it to get to the x-axis, but it's never going to touch it.
Right.
Okay, so going back over here to come on now. Now I don't want you to annotate anymore, so I want you to go away. There we go. So now come over here. Well, that was cute. Let's see, how do I erase my annotation? I click on the eraser. That's how I do it. I'm still learning all the things about Zoom. This is my first semester using it. I used to use a couple of different tools. And so far, I really like it, but I'm not very up on it yet. I'm still learning about it. Okay, so what that means is when you come over here and you want to say, you know, give me a graph that looks like that, you got to come in, you're going to draw an x-axis. Okay, so, and a y-axis on here. I'm just kind of going to hack it out. Yours will be better than mine because you probably have a ruler. And then you're going to make it so the graph comes along really close to the x-axis and then just takes off like that. Where that's x and that's y. But it's not going to dip below the x-axis at any time. A lot of people, I don't remember exactly what yours look like, but a lot of people drew things that just look like that.
Yeah, no, mine was pretty close to what you drew. I just didn't take it all the way over.
Okay. Maybe it was on the decay side. Maybe that's the one. So let's go ahead and let's look at the decay factor. So the decay factor, we know that B's got to be between 0 and 1 now.
Right.
So let's go ahead again. Let's make ourselves a sample function that's true for. So again, let's let A be equal to 1 and let's make B equal to 1/2. Make it really easy. Okay. So if we enter that into our calculator, go into the y equals key, clear out there with some y1, I'm going to go parentheses 1 divided by 2, close the parentheses, and then put in a caret x.
Well, that's what I have. Because on my textbook, the
does it look like that?
Lines are, maybe I just was misreading the lines on this one. There's a line, the y-axis is slightly darker.
Okay.
And the x-axis line is kind of, I think what I did was on the prior page is the lesson 6 checklist.
Mm-hmm.
And the dark line is coming through on the graph. So I kind of read that as like a 0 line. Or I had my window on my calculator set funny.
Okay.
Because it comes through along the line. It's just not.
So you had a graph that looks
window.
You had a graph that looks something like that, right?
Yeah, except it was higher up.
Okay.
On the graph.
All right, could be how it got transferred to me too. Let me go take a look at it real quick. Let's see.
Yeah, I didn't do the best job of drawing out the graph at all.
That's okay. So I'm gonna have to go in.
That's definitely my mistake on that.
No worries. Let me go into it is okay to make mistakes when you're learning math. That's not only acceptable, it's expected. I mean, you need to make mistakes. Otherwise, you're never going to learn anything.
Right. Well, I am just excited because even though I didn't do very well on the midterm, I still have a squeaking by A, and I've never had above a C-
nice
in algebra.
Nice.
So
good for you.
I'm happy.
Good for you. Awesome. You got to like that.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Was this assignment right here?
Yeah.
Let's go take a look at it. I'm going to stop sharing for just a moment until I get to yours. It's okay if I show your page up. Is that all right? Do you mind? I can pause the recording if you don't want me to.
No, I'm totally fine with it. I don't care
okay.
who sees what.
Okay, cool. Yeah, where are you? Go up. Right past you. There we go. Down the front.
Oh. Okay, go on.
I just remembered yours for some reason, whatever you're using to scan yours with, which is fine. I got no problem with it. It creates huge files, and so Canvas just goes, nah, I'm not going to open it. So
really, because I'm using the tiny scanner on my Samsung phone.
It could be that you have your DPI set really high. You might want to check that and see if your DPI is set like around 200, because that's pretty much all you need. If you got it set up like what DPI is.
Yeah, I don't know what any of that means.
It's a setting that says dots per inch, and it's how many little dots does it plot on or does it actually take scans of? And so the default usually is like 200, and that's plenty. But it will go up to like 600.
Yeah, I don't know what my phone does. I should really have an old flip phone because I don't use it.
You know what? You're getting them scanned and you're getting them turned in. Don't mess with it. It works for me. I have no problem with it. I am so happy. You don't know. I mean, I get a lot of people who are turning in, like, I have like 85 documents I have to look at to grade their homework. So yours are great. Not a bit of complaining. All right, let me go ahead and share the desktop again. So
I have default page size.
Okay, here we go. Let's go see if we can find it in here. So here we go. You try problem 1. Oh yeah. That's the problem. I was wondering. Yeah, look at your graph, right? And then this one you didn't take this one over. You didn't show that it was a product, right?
Yeah.
So you want to take it and sketch it over so it comes down really close to the x-axis. And this one.
Yeah. See, with that one,
a bowl there or something.
Yeah, on my book. So you see the dark line that runs down.
This one, right?
Yeah, that one. And then just at the base of my line in the book, the other page, the prior page, has a line that runs right across there. So I just miss.
You get to draw your own axes in these.
Yeah, I just messed up on that.
That's okay. That's all right.
Totally my fault.
No, these are not mess ups. So these are learning experiences. So this is
and as long as I understand the concept and that I did it right, I just screwed up on the art part.
Yeah. There you go. Just the STEAM part. Okay, looking good. Besides that, though.
That's good. Yeah, my brain. I've realized after all these years that it doesn't work exactly the same as everybody else's, and I found that when I'm doing the math, in my brain, I climb inside the problems to make it understandable.
Okay.
It does. I don't know. It doesn't make sense when I say it out loud, but I'm understanding it, except the word parts. And then it takes me a little while. And
so the quizzes are going okay for you then?
Quizzes are going all right. I'm mostly getting them correct. I realized on the practice quiz, the last practice quiz, that I was adding the and see, the words escape me.
That's okay.
To the power of the exponent.
Okay.
Instead of multiplying. Or I don't know. I was messing up, but then I realized my problem and I fixed it.
Cool.
So
well, that's the idea with the practice quizzes. Is that way you can take it until you figure out what it is that's not, not going right.
Right.
And then you go, I get it now. Because hopefully the videos, I'm trying to pick problems that have videos so that you got, something you can look at and go, oh, okay, I see what he's doing here. This makes sense.
Right. And that's super helpful. And actually what I do is I try to do the problem first, and then if I don't get it right the first time, I'll watch the video.
It's a great idea.
What my problem is.
That's
and then
a really good idea, because that way you've kind of plowed the field, so to speak, so that your head's ready to accept what he's showing you on the videos.
Right.
Otherwise, the videos could be just like, whatever. So, well, let me show you something real quick. I don't know if you watched that video that I did yet. I just posted a thing. I got a comment from.
Right. I have not watched that yet because I was working on the discussion question as you posted that. So.
Jessica just commented. She said the quizzes are so much more helpful to me than the homework. I do way better on them.
Right. And see, the problem with the homework is I'm so used to, the high school way of doing it, where there's the full explanation in the book and then the questions. And this just kind of, I look at it and go, I have no idea what's going on. And then you have to have 15 windows on my computer open because I'm searching the internet for, how to do it. And
so how are the media examples working out? I mean, I haven't watched all of them. I mean, it's
media examples are good, except they don't cover everything. And I feel like I should know more because, I have taken algebra, the prior one.
Right.
But it's been 12 years and I didn't fully grasp it at that point. So I feel like I'm, way behind, but then I do this stuff after, searching through everything and learning Algebra 1, and now I'm back in Algebra 2, and I get it. It just takes me a little bit longer to get there.
Right. So would it be helpful if I had a practice quiz before the assignment? And if I put, a smattering of problems in a practice quiz before you did the assignment? Obviously, for me, the way I'm thinking about it is the assignment's going to help you do the quiz, but that sounds like that's not really working that way. That it would be better.
It's hard to say because I don't know.
Okay.
Because I think having a practice quiz at the beginning would be good, and then doing the homework, and then doing, I don't know, because I like having the practice quiz before the quiz so that I can review before I do it. But I also, when I do the quizzes, I also go back and review all the media examples before doing the practice quiz, so that I have it in I'm not the one to ask. I don't know.
No, that's very helpful. I think the main thing I got to do is just leave it so you get to pick your path.
Right.
So if you want to go do the quizzes first and then come back and do the assignment, you do it that way because that's what works best for you.
Right.
I have the option in Canvas of forcing you to go linearly through the module, and I hesitate to do that, but sometimes people just go, a la carte, and they just go and grab what they want to do from the module and don't do all of it.
And I kind of prefer that, being able to go around instead of having to do one thing and then the next. I feel boxed in, and it makes me more kind of freaked out a little bit.
No, that's good feedback. I kind of sense that the forcing people to go linearly through the module is a bad idea. So I'm going to take that into account and not make people do it that way anymore. So yeah, Jessica's the same thing. She says the videos that are available on the practice quizzes, they're instrumental for her understanding the content. So by watching those, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's super helpful.
Okay, well that's good, because I'll give people, at the beginning, this is the first time through with this book for me. I'm developing it around a new book for several reasons. One, I think the workbook format works really well for an online class.
Right.
Price is right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to find a cheaper book for you.
Right.
So there's that part. And then it's a little more modern of approach. A lot of the books out there are still pretty antiquated in how they're doing things. So I like this. I like the way they've laid it out. I like how they're emphasizing certain things and de-emphasizing other things, although I think they de-emphasized a little too much, but I can fill that in.
Yeah, they could definitely use to put a little bit more review or explanation in the beginning. What I also noticed on this practice quiz was that we didn't have the option of seeing the answers after we've missed it several times.
Oh, really? Well, then that's my fault. That shouldn't be. You should be able to see the answers immediately.
Yeah, no, I wasn't able to see them at all, actually.
Really? On the one right now?
Yeah.
Okay, then I didn't flip the right switch. That's my fault. Let's go take a look at that real quick, because if that's the case, then I need to go fix that. So let's see. Let's go get.
Yeah, because there was one that I tried to figure it out, and I still got like 0.2 of it wrong, I think, and it wasn't giving me the option to see the answer. Really? So I just left it.
Really? So this is for the Module 9 practice quiz.
I think it was Module 9. Yeah, it must have been, because 8 was way over.
Okay, let's go take a look at that real quick. Oh, no, it says show answers after one attempt.
Really?
Yeah.
That's maybe it's my system. I don't know. I wasn't able to see it at all.
After you've taken it, it won't show you the answers right away, but as soon as you've done one, it should show you the answers.
Yeah, no, there was, I think it was question 3 or 4. I kept getting one part of it wrong, and it would never let me see the answer.
Really? Okay, well, let's go take a look at that question. So practice quiz. Oh, some of these they won't. There's a few of them in here that are anomalies. The definition ones, they're going to make you go look it up. Sorry about that. Yeah, I picked those. Those are mean questions. I thought about that when I picked them. I thought, ooh, this is going to be kind of harsh. But
yeah, well, the problem
once in a while, you got to pick a mean one, right?
Yeah, and that's fine. The only issue that I have with this is that it tells you which part of it you got wrong, but when you go back into see what it was wrong, it's a completely different problem. So I don't know what the question was. So I don't have a way of fixing it.
Okay, well, and these definition ones, those are the ones that they're not going to show you the answers on, at least if I remembered right when I picked them.
Yeah, and I don't remember which one it was, what number it was that I got wrong.
Okay, well, Jennifer, don't forget about this thing down here. Message the instructor about this question. So don't be shy about doing that. But on top of that, I have to come into my Open Math to see those. I don't get those in Canvas. And so if you want me to get it in a timely fashion, I only go in here about once or twice a week. I go into Canvas, every day. So if you want a quick feedback, then you send me a message in Canvas and say, hey, I posted a question in my Open Math. Can you go take a look at it for me, please?
Sure. Yeah, and I, if I get close to 100%, I'm cool. I just think, okay, fine, it's good.
Move right along.
I don't want to hassle you with a bunch of silly trite questions. So
nah, don't worry about it. Okay, so the thing I did want to show you there while we're here, perfect timing, is this little yellow arrow here. That's the editor. That's the math editor. It's called MathQuill, and it lets you input math into the fields. And I guess some people didn't know about that. I thought I'd talked about that, but who knows?
You did talk about it, I think, in section in like 4 or 5. Somewhere back. Yeah,
it's probably long before you needed it.
With the does not exist questions that I always have an issue with.
Right, exactly. now you said I remember when to talk about it. Okay, so if we want to do this one here, so this is going to be, so if we went in, let me actually back up for a minute, make sure I know what they want me to do. They want me to write it as a log, and then they want me to use a change of base. Okay, so if I come in here and I want to put this in here, I would say log, and I got to kick it back over between the log and the parentheses to get the subscript. This one is base 7, so I got to put it in with base 7, and then the number that they want me to put in there is 164.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yes, this is all gibberish to me.
Okay, well, it won't be. When you get further in here, and you go preview, and it should look right then. That's the nice thing is down below, it gives you the preview, okay?
Right.
And then over here, they want us to use change of base on it, just following what the example up above is. So using change of base, then I'm going to come in and put a fraction in first, and now they're both in base 10. And one of the easy ways to remember to change a base is that, hang on, don't be unstable for me. You still there?
I am.
Okay, good. Okay, so the number that's down below goes below, the number that's up top goes up top. You see how in the logarithm there's one that's subscripted and one that's up above? So it's going to go log
right.
of 164 in the numerator, and the denominator is going to be log of 7. That's what change of base does. And then go save.
Gotcha.
And it gives us what they were looking for. And then it says evaluate using the calculator. And they say round our results to 3 places. So if I go get the calculator here, I'm going to need this huge screen. So we're going to go, and there's a log key in our calculator. So we go log of 164.
Yeah, I had to look up how to do that because I never got to that.
That's okay, no worries. You got time yet, right? It's not. And then log of 7, and then hit an enter. Okay, so that's about 2.6. How many places? Ran out to 3 decimal places. Okay, so let's go back here. 3 decimal places. 1, 2, 3. So our rounding digit is an 8, so it's going to be 2.621. All right. Anyway, just the main thing I wanted to get from you is to show you that you click on these little arrows here on the ends of the boxes, and you get this full equation editor, which is MathQuill, which is really nice. I mean, and it's got these tabs up here. It actually has log even built into it if you don't want to use the what I did. In other words, I could come in here and I could just go log, and it's going to have log base 2. So it's got a number over there already for me. Then I can just come in and type the number in, or I can build it by using the subscript. Either way is fine.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense because I was trying to, when I was answering the discussion question, I don't know how to do that on mine, so it just.
Well,
anyway.
That's going to be different yet again. you want to look at that?
Sure, why not? If I'm not keeping everybody else.
No, I don't think. Jessica hasn't given me any other questions. I think she's just hanging on for the ride in the view at the moment. Jessica, don't be shy about putting questions in the chat window, okay? So if you go into Canvas, go into Canvas. And I think it's my internet that's having the issue.
Yay, it's not me for once.
Yeah, it's mine. Well, I'm actually, I just today, it could be because Suddenlink is mad at me because I'm dropping them as of today. I got the unlimited Verizon and it works just fine. It's faster than Suddenlink, so I'm just gonna use a hotspot from Verizon and do that, and it's gonna cost me less money.
It makes a lot of sense. Well, there you go. Yeah, we switched from something to AT&T, and it was horrendous the first month or 2 that we had it. Paid for by my husband's work, and AT&T got it all messed up, and then the payment days were weird. I don't know. And they cut us off for a while, and it was terrible. It kicks us off whenever it feels like it.
Yep, that would be AT&T. I had AT&T for a while too. It was not good. All right, so let's see. We're under Module 9, the discussion question. So if you want to type in like I do, like if you look at on the discussion questions, you'll see that I have the math typed in there. There is a very similar equation editor in there. Nice. Good, good, good. Good to hear from Jessica. All right. So if you go down here on the discussion question and you see, well, you don't see anything yet because it's taking a while to load. There we go. You see the math. Those are done when you guys are in the editor. Here, if I go to edit. See that pi symbol right there?
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
There we go.
Did I go away? Am I back? Okay. So
you froze for a second.
Sorry about that. You see that pi symbol right there?
Yes.
Okay, if you click on that pi symbol, it gives you an equation editor just like the math quill. It's going to take a bit for it to come up. And so you can enter in stuff into it. So there's two of them actually. I use this one. I use the pi symbol, but this thing over here is Whereas, which is another math formula editor that some people like better because they think it's easier to use. So either one is fine. They'll both insert math formulas for you. So yeah, I invite you to play around with that a little bit. Okay, go away.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. I don't want to save this. I cancel that. Okay. All right. Well, do you have anything else for me? I think I'm going to go get a cup of tea.
Yeah, no, I think I'm good. I'm going to do a cup of tea myself and maybe a little hot tub. So
there you go.
Work on more homework.
There you go. Good for you.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so don't be shy about sending me questions. Jennifer, same thing to you. Jessica, send me questions if you're confused on anything. And I think we're going to go ahead and call it good for the night. Okay?
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. You guys have a good evening.
You too. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.